for the catcher, she falls off these high heels.
Видно, вот?
Melissa is wearing a wedding dress, and back in the days, wedding dresses weren't necessarily white because you couldn't really use that again. Melissa's dress also has many buttons on the front because they wanted to make it as form-fitting as possible. If you look at Melissa's dress, you see all the ruffles and lace on the front. The front would be flat, that they wanted the front flat, and then back in the rear, and you can see with hers, they would rug it up so that they could have the bustle, and the bustle look into it without the bustle. And you notice her dress has a train too. The trains were nice, but I'm sorry, I'm so proud of it. Boy, did they get dirty. And sometimes they were removable too. Melissa's hat is just gorgeous. Can you turn the show over your hat?
Which way do I turn?
Whichever way. No, I mean turn around. Okay. An ostrich feather ornaments the hat, and it is it's not quite a poke bonnet, but close to it. And the colors are so well coordinated. Melissa, is this is a vintage one, an old one? Okay, and you might have seen Melissa's mother in this before at style shows. So,
This is my first time.
You're Melissa's first time, her mother many times. Would you show us your oh, I thought you had on old shoes.
No, I couldn't find any.
She had to get taller than the skirt. So, okay, thank you, Melissa. You all can stay if you like, so you don't have to walk up that aisle again. Michelle Bumness is back with us, and she's into the early 1900s. We're switching centuries on us. This is another Bobby Ryder creation, and one of my favorites because of the colors of it. This outfit is typical of a lot of outfits of that time. If you look at it, first look at the big mutton sleeves. Mutton sleeves were first called leg of mutton because they looked like the lamb's legs, and big ones were used. Michelle has the sort of the sailor collar on this, so this would have been an afternoon or a more informal kind of dress. It's fitted at the waist, flares out, then into the hips, and her collar has a built-in loop to hold it in place. Look how tight the sleeves are at the wrist, because this was the fashion. The other thing you can look at is the hat. It coordinates very, very well with it. Now, if you turn around, look what's on that hat, a bird. It was very fashionable to have birds, and some taxidermy birds. And look how long those feathers are. And there were some that were much, much bigger than this. So it all coordinates so well, Michelle. Thank you. We have a special model and model coming up our way. Now, not every lady was a lady who could just sit around in the house and not do anything. If she was a lady of leisure, she had to have somebody to do the work for her. And I don't think Mitchell's very happy. This is Mary Hart again, and she's come along as the nanny. Now, she could have been a nanny in almost any period of time, but even into the 1900s. The stroller is actually from the 1920s. And Mitchell is dressed up too in some vintage style clothes. I'm not sure, he doesn't have his golf hat on right now, does he? And he has accompanied his mother many places, so he should be used to this. And you can see Mitchell has a proper little vest and pants on, and his golf cap, or whatever others call it, driving cap, that just sets it off the whole mood of it. So thank you, Melissa, Karen, and thank you for bringing the stroller, too. talk about the safety in strollers today. They say, oh, that won't be safe. But I don't know, they're not nearly as pretty as that, so I like that. Now, we're going to maybe leave our time period the early 1900s or not. This could go into the 20s with Laura Dean Bennett modeling for us. Laura has really well-coordinated clothes. If you look at what she's wearing, the first thing she told me about it was it's an ecru blouse. I was researching vintage clothes. Ecru was a favorite color, and that we would call it beige, I think. And beige because it didn't have to be totally white. Look at the crocheted collar, the cameo pin, and with Laura wearing gloves, as most proper ladies wore, and her. She's wearing a shawl because a lot of ladies did. Ladies didn't wear sweaters. They wore shawls to keep warm. And with Laura, her hat is appropriate too, that she's just a very, very stylish lady. Her purse was her grandmother's. And Laura treasures all of her things from her grandmother and grandmother. And she has on the right kind of shoes, suede shoes, and just very, very proper. Thank you, Laura, and thank you for all the phone calls you made and everything to get this together. Now, we decided we would conclude this show with ending in about the 1920s, early, but somebody showed up with this beautiful wedding dress. And after I researched it, it is clearly a 1940s, 30s, 40s model. And we just didn't want to end the show without showing this beautiful dress on Ashley. And if you look, the wedding dresses this time did have the mutton sleeves, even though they were a style from the early 1800s. But she has the mutton sleeves, the form-fitting waist, and then it goes out into a train in that. Her veil is a traditional mantilla, which is very easy to get and to use. And of course she has her wedding bouquet. Her sleeves also then will go down into the traditional point in her hand. And the collar is crocheted too. So Ashley is just lovely as our bride. So we appreciate her quick change artistry too. Thank you, Ashley. Okay, we have a gentleman who's an undertaker. I don't know much about undertakers. He could also have been a chimney sweep with a tall hat. And our undertaker is, you have a name? Bud the Undertaker. Yes, okay. He's wearing, could you turn around and show us your coat? Is that the swallowtail coat?
That is.
It is. He's with their very long tail coat, which was very formal. And I guess undertakers had attire. They stuck too, didn't they? Yes. And the top hat is felt.
Yeah, they felt it was traditional.
Yeah. So he is very fashionable, very stylish, and handsome in this. That just like we want our undertakers to be.